Hi, Joey here, one half of your long lost pals, here to report that we had a bit of a technical snafu in the last episode. So I updated Zoom, and now when the timers end, it plays some award show style wrap up music. So we made a lot of jokes about it. We responded to it every time, gave claps and bows and shit. But then it turned out when you listen to the episode, you can't hear the music. So it looks like we're going crazy and just reacting to nothing. So just so you know, there was wrap up music. You just can't hear it. And that is our technical difficulty. And now, without further ado, enjoy or don't enjoy episode 28 of Long Lost Pals. The prerogative is yours. Let's start the episode right now by saying I have hand, foot, and mouth, which is not a thing I knew existed until I had kids. So I
I
just got a whole bunch of
forgot.
like fucking a whole bunch of sores in my mouth. So it hurts to eat, hurts to talk. If it sounds like I'm gathering a whole bunch of spit in my mouth, I'm sorry. I'm doing the best I can. We're persevering out here. But welcome, Long Lost Pals, episode 28, our Alperen Şengün episode. Hey, he's more relevant. He's our starting center for the Rockets right now. Almost won Eurobasket, came in second place, led his team, should have won MVP. But that's neither here nor there. I'm Joey.
I'm Corinne.
And this is season two, which means we're still doing new-ish segments. And today we're going to start with the worst of. Worst of is a chance to go over the worst things that happened in a selected year. We have four parts to this segment: worst released movie, worst song, worst sports moment, and worst piece of miscellaneous news, which can be pop culture or business or anything else. And I went last week first, so it is your turn to go first for the worst of 2002.
Can I ask a question real quick? What does your shirt say?
Dad. This is the shirt we wore on
Oh,
Tommy's first birthday, and my wife was so mad because these are supposed to be Nemo shirts. And I was like, "Yeah, I can do Nemo shirts. I do them all the time." This little derpy, that is
bro,
not
get the
Nemo.
fuck.
This generic. She was so mad because we got them like the day before. So she was to be honest, she was what's the word I'm looking for? She was
Disappointed,
no
maybe?
no what's the word? She was the amount of disappointment in her eyes and her actions. She was just it was a little excessive in my opinion.
Deflated, maybe a little deflated.
He was crushed by these shirts. And I was like, yeah, the idea, but bigger fish to fry. But
Um,
my yeah, exactly. Me and my fake Nemo shirt will go second. We'll let you go first. You have 2 minutes for this segment, and you can start whenever you want. Worst of 2002.
All right. I feel bad. Not feel bad, but I'm gonna get heat for this. In the realm of film, a lot of people like this movie. I did not. I'm gonna go with 28 Days Later by Alex Garland. I'm sorry. I'm a little biased because I'm not typically into zombie movies, period. And I can't even say like, oh, when I watched it back then, it was lame. I literally watched it last year because I was getting ready for the new one that came out. I don't know if it was last year or this year. And I was like, wow, this was weak as fuck. So sorry, I got to give it to 28 Days Later. It's just not for me. Song, probably gonna catch heat for this too. Worst song of 2002. Wait, first of all, I just want to point out that Ashanti was running the fucking game this year. She had 3 songs in the top 12 of the Billboard and 2 or 3 other ones in the 40 somewhere. That bitch was on her shit. I am going to go with the worst song of 2002 being Hey Ma by Cameron and Jewels. I'm just not. Look, it just missed the mark for me. I feel like I rolled my eyes every time the song came on. I just wasn't feeling the beat. I love Dipset. I love the Diplomats. I fuck with Jewels.
No, you don't.
That one just wasn't it for me. I'm
No, you don't.
sorry. Sports news. Jose Canseco retires. Sad. Everybody's heartbroken. On his way out, he also says, by the way, I was on steroids for most of my career, and so are 80% of the other Major League Baseball players, and named names. So, on top of a great guy retiring, he also threw everybody under the bus and kind of tarnished his entire career, saying that he was on fucking steroids for most of his career. For pop culture moment or whatever news, the Emmys. Sex in the City got snubbed. They were only nominated. Well, they were nominated for 10
Not my
things.
girls.
They deserved more. Half of the things that they lost to Friends, which you know how both of us feel about.
That's like the ending timer thing. I don't know how that happened, but I love it.
What?
I love it. I didn't even do that on purpose. Let's
I
keep
was like,
that forever.
is this a new sound effect?
That was like the wrap it up music at the award show.
Oh, fuck. Speaking of the Emmys, yeah, no. Sex and the City got nominated for 10 things. They only won two, completely snubbed, in my opinion. And that was for season 4, which is one of the best seasons because it's one of the seasons where Carrie is dating Aiden, who is obviously Mr. fucking perfect. I gotta say, that was a bad thing that happened in O2.
All right, couple of notes. I've never seen 28 Days Later, so you're not gonna get a complaint out of me. I didn't even know what it was about. You said zombie movies, so I probably would have been on the same side of the fence as you. Um, Song disrespectful. I tried to throw up Dipset at first, and I threw up the Shocker, which is that douchey thing that people throw up. No, definitely not that. I corrected it. So let the record show I corrected Dipset. Um, love Dipset, love Jewels, love Cameron. You're wrong for that. And then the other thing was not your Sex in the City thing. Oh, did you ever see that video of Jose Canseco who catches the fly ball off the head and it bounces over for a home run?
No.
That boy was so juiced up. Someone hits a ball, fly ball, and it bounces off his head over the wall for a home run. Great footage. You need to look that up afterwards.
I definitely want to now.
I'm not familiar enough with Sex in the City. We talked about this on like a way earlier episode. All I know is Friends is overrated as hell, and I do know the men were less than on par for my girl Carrie and other friends. Is it Carrie, Samantha, and whoever else?
Period, King. You're at 2 out of 4.
That's all I need. The reason I know Samantha is because it's like in Borat. And he's like, which, you seen that part where he's like around the fire? He's like, what Sex in the City character do you think you would be? He goes, that's such a Samantha thing to say. You don't remember that?
No.
All right. Well, I will get started with my worst of 2002. And I'm going to get started with my movie. I'm going with the Wild Thornberrys movie, man. I feel like for a period of time, everybody was just doing movies for every single cartoon. Wild Thornberrys wasn't even popping like that. I didn't even like the show at that time period. I thought that shit was trash. That was like the first cartoon I remember watching. Be like, damn, Nickelodeon messing up, man. This shit is poo. And then they made a movie. Not every show needs a movie. Doug, I love Doug. Doug probably didn't need a movie. I don't know if I ever saw it. The Rugrats deserved one. Kind of trash. We talked about that before. Wild Thornberrys. Show's not good enough to have a movie. I never even saw it, I don't think, but that's my movie. For song, people are going to think I'm a prude because I chose Peaches and Cream last time. And this time, that was for Steal My Innocence. This one is just nasty, though. I'm going with My Neck, My Back by Kia. It's just too much. It's too much. The people who love that song are the people who read the smut novels. Like, y'all are perverts, man. I don't need to hear all this. That's just too much. That song, the Whisper song by the Yin Gang Twins, Play by David Banner. I don't need all these graphic details. I like R&B music. I don't need all that. Too much for me to this day. I tried to listen today. I was like, yeah, still too much. I'm on Mother Teresa. I don't care. I work at Prudential Bank. I'm a prude. I don't care. I don't like it. Sports, I'm going with Emmitt Smith becoming the all-time leading rusher of the NFL. I don't like anything good to happen for anybody who played for the Cowboys. And not only is he breaking that record, or did he break that record in this year, that record's also never going to get broken. Right now, there's only one active player in the top 25, and he's at 11,615 yards. It's Derrick Henry. Emmitt Smith's at 18,355 yards. That's probably never getting broken. The second place person's like 1,600 yards away. So, yeah, Cowboys suck, and I hate that he is the all-time leading rusher. For a pop culture moment, I'm going Michael Jackson dangling his son over the balcony. Like, what are we doing? I saw a picture of it. Not only is he dangling his kid over the balcony, not even securely. He's got this kid damn near in a headlock. It's like an infant. He's holding him like one arm, damn near choking him out. Like, what are we doing, Michael? And he's like frail and kind of like all like on his way out at this point, all skin and bones. His little weak ass don't even be carrying nobody over a balcony. Thank you. I will accept the award for greatest worst of 2002. Michael, as a parent, I'm appalled. I was appalled as an 11-year-old. You need to get it together. Well, you did, RIP, but you should have got it together later. MJ, as much as you like taking out kids, you know how to take care of them. That wraps up my worst of 2002.
The disrespect to My Neck, My Back.
So gross.
Bro, that's like saying that you don't like Back That Ass Up by Juvenile. Like the disrespect
that's not even close. Not even close.
Put on women. That is one of the women's anthems. When that shit comes on, wow, disrespectful. Definitely agree with the Emmitt Smith thing. Fuck that guy and that team. And nobody's ever fucking breaking that. Maybe Saquon. Maybe Saquon.
He's not even top 25. And he like wasted too many years at the beginning of his career being hurt. So yeah.
Also, you're fucking tripping on the wild thornberries. Are you kidding me? The hot sister, I had a crush on her. She was part of my gay awakening with Miss Honey from Matilda. What are you talking about? She was so hot and cool.
You got me tripping about the music and you're perving out of cartoons, you weirdo. That
I
song,
was like 8. I'm allowed to have a crush on a cartoon at 8.
I don't think you are. I don't think you are. I don't think that's ever allowed. Bruce Wayne was pretty jacked back in the day, though.
We have a lot of this. We completely we were just not.
That song is too much. Look, man, again, it's too much. Like I like a love song. I like even a sexy time song, but that Pretty Ricky, they pushed the envelope a little bit, but that's my end. You start getting into like that David Banner song play. Oh my God, I gotta turn that shit off immediately. My
You're definitely a prude for sure.
Hey, I'm a certified sex haver. I have multiple children, so don't tell me what I am. All right, we will now move into our next segment. And our next segment is Sorry for 2004, sponsored by Ruben Studdard. This is a chance for us to turn over a new leaf in this season, and instead of bringing up old beef, apologize to people that we have wronged in the past. We get a minute and a half for this segment, and it is my turn to go first. I could take this one a few different ways, but instead of doing a teacher again, I will choose to apologize to the students in my 10th grade chemistry class, 10th grade chemistry class, I believe. So we've talked about my desire to be a class clown in the past, and my affinity and my love for the reaction of others to make others chuckle, laugh, giggle, whatever the case may be. So I had a bit that I used to do all the time in chemistry class. And it's a wild one, right? So what I would do is I'd be sitting back there, teacher would know nothing was happening. I pull my pants down and I pull my underwear down where you could see my ass, and I would sit on the chair and act like I was taking a shit in class. So the whole class would just see my ass out, would know what was going on, and meanwhile the teacher was none the wiser. I'm apologizing because probably 95, 96, there might have been one person who liked me in that class, didn't want to see my ass, and they had to see it. And there's probably like some quiet, sweet angel kids in there that are just trying to get their education, and they're seeing my ass every day, probably complaining to their parents, and they're like, that's not happening. There's no way a teacher would let that happen. So I would kind of apologize to my teacher for distracting the rest of the class, but she was also the worst. I apologize to whoever was sitting in that seat after me because you have my ass. I wasn't sweating, I don't think, but you had my ass residue on the chair. Anybody who was trying to learn that I was a distraction to, if you're still asked at chemistry in this moment in time, I apologize because I probably wasn't helpful. And yeah, but what a bit. What a bit. There's a picture of it. I'll send it to you later. I still have it. A lot of people saw my ass during that time period. I apologize.
Fucking
I love it. I
the
love it.
speech music is crazy. You saying you were chasing being a class clown is crazy because everybody knows that you reached that goal. Like you attained it. You weren't chasing the allure of being a class clown. You 100% embodied it. And this being a quote unquote bit is crazy. Why is your ass out in chemistry class?
I definitely could have gone all through
Bare
school
ass,
too. I could have gone all
bare
through school.
ass,
Yeah, for sure.
bare ass is crazy at
And
a
I,
desk.
and I feel like it was a frequent thing too. I feel like it was like I was pulling this bad boy like once a week, man. So yeah, good times.
Before I get into my story, I would like to make a disclaimer that there's
Uh-oh.
there's a lot of stigma. There's a lot of stigma on people that look like me that we are all fuckboys and we're womanizers and we're trash. And I am beating those allegations 99% of the time. However, the story that I am about to share will definitely feed into that narrative. But I want people to understand that I vehemently fight against the fuckboy light skin allegations with every fucking breath and all of my actions otherwise outside of the story that
People think I'm a bad person, but I'm not. But I was a bad person in this situation. Is what I'm getting from this. 1.5 minutes. Go ahead, Corinne. Disclaimer or not.
All right. In my youth, not youth, I had just graduated college, unemployed, trying to look for a job, fresh off of a breakup also. I was talking to a ting long distance. I had a little ting long distance. And I had mentioned that my ex had sacked me with our previous phone bill. I don't know what she did. Number one, the phone was in my name. Rookie fucking move.
Oh,
I don't know what she did. She ran up the bill, whatever the fuck, and then dipped, leaving me with like a $270 bill. And again, unemployed, broke. I mentioned just to the long distancing, her being the adorable, sweet angel was like, "Oh, I'll pay it for you." And I was like, "No, no, no, I can't let you do that." Long distance ting comes to visit. We have a great time, but by the time that she left, I'll admit we weren't on great terms. And it's because we just weren't, I feel like we had different expectations of what we wanted this thing to be. However, even with us not being on the best of terms, when she went back to where she was from, I still hit her up. It was like, "Hey, did you want to pay this bill for me?" Being a woman of her word, she paid that bill. So in now, I'm not 100. She did offer.
get the raid out.
It
The
was
roaches are out. Get the
it was
raid out.
it was an asshole move. It was an asshole move, and I to this day I feel bad for it. I gotta air it out, and she might see this. She might.
Hey, well, I know it's not gonna work out, but I still need that $270. Come on, man.
It was a fuck boy move. I'm admitting it.
It was
I'm
a
admitting
Roachy move. I don't know. It was a
she
Roachy move.
offered, bro.
Hey,
Yeah,
hey,
no,
you should have the money
I'm
for me.
in that moment. I was not beating the allegations, but I'm beating them. Look, pull my card, pull my resume. Okay,
Bud
most
Copper to the allegations. All right. That gets us to our third segment, which is Preguntas, which is a segment where we get to ask each other a random question. And we're not trying to culturally appropriate. We just objectively know that preguntas is a cooler word for questions than questions is. We get to ask each other a random question that can be about anything. We get a minute to respond. And shout out to Spanish for being a much cooler language than English. And you are going first in this segment. So ask away.
you're a pretty progressive guy. You're
Here we go
woke as
again.
you're a pretty progressive guy. Do you think that women should propose to men?
Oh, that one's a rough one. Uh,
Let's hear it, Joseph.
I'm not gonna lie. I think I would feel a little emasculated. If Des would have asked me to marry her, I think I would have been like, yes, but can we like act like this didn't happen and let me ask? Like take all the pictures of me asking and just act like you didn't do this. I actually knew somebody that the girl proposed to him, and it was so random, and I was like, shout out to you for knowing what you want. But I don't know, man. That one's a little tough. I mean, I think she subscribed to those gender roles too, though. Like we're very much not like we've talked before. That's my sugar mama, man. She makes more money than me. You know what I'm saying? I'm not insecure about it as long as the gap's not too huge. As long as she's not pulling me, carrying me like a backpack. We're good to go. But like that one, I don't know, man. I might have a hard time with that.
As yeah, no, as a lesbian, obviously we kind of throw gender roles to the wind, but I think there are some that should not be toiled with.
Like women
Uh,
should do all the cooking. I'm just like,
you hear that, ladies? Go get him.
JK, JK, JK. Yeah.
Yeah, I that's God, I don't want to say degrading, but fuck, as a woman, why are you on your knees, sis? Get up for a man. Get up, sister. No.
That feels like getting
I
neutered to
want
me,
I
man.
want a hetero look. I want hetero women free from gender roles and all of the patriarchy. Sister, don't you fucking get on your knee for a man.
Bend the knee.
That's a interesting answer though. We're on the same page with that one.
Like I try my best to be progressive, like the soup, like the insurance. That's a lot, man, and that's I don't know. I feel like you gotta be getting clowned by people if that happens to you. Like and you shouldn't care, but like certain things, I like to think I don't care if people think about me, but I do. I do. I like to think I have the personality. I don't care. I don't give a shit. I care, unfortunately, and I would be probably embarrassed if that happened to me.
We all do. But it is interesting here because obviously you're a guy, so you're thinking at it from a guy's point of view and
Yeah.
being, how would I feel if a woman proposed to me? You're
This feels a
like,
little. Have you ever seen Saving Silverman? It feels a little Saving Silverman-ish to me, where he takes her last name and and like stuff like that.
there,
Obviously,
I don't know. You know what? Good for him, I guess.
it's yeah. No thanks.
All right, what
Uh,
you got for me?
all right, this is a topic that's really bothers me. I feel like people phrases as like, "Oh, we're so close, we do this," but I don't think that's the case. I think it just means that you're gross. Are you pro farting in front of your significant other or nah?
I I gotta say, nah, bro. I don't. And I know, like, and I know so many women that are like, oh, it's just boys. You know, boys do that. If I don't even like, I understand bodily functions. We all do it. I think there should be some discretion and there should be some consideration. I have heard women say, "Oh, when I have to do it, I'll get up and walk out of the room." Guys, okay, get up and go. I'm not. I'm definitely not pro it. I don't know that I would be cool with a woman being like, "I have to fart. I'll be right back," and leave it.
That's weird too. You just do it without saying it. Like,
Yeah, go get up and get up. You know, act like you gotta go do something. If you gotta let something out, don't let me know.
I just don't like that people mean like make it seem like that means they're close. We're so comfortable in front of each other. I was like, that's just nasty because I'm to the phrase now, like farts used to be cool when I was like a teenager. Like, and my friends doing it for me, I'm like, get your gross ass out of here. Like the same applies to my wife. Like, and here's the thing, like I'm not being like we're not doing the whole thing where it's like I'm lifting my leg and letting them rip and I'm like, you're not allowed to fart. It's not like that. I don't fart in front of her either. Like to this day, I think she'll probably tell you she's never heard me fart. Like I
And good for her.
and like I do. Well, I let it out when she's gone. I'm in front of my kids, in front of my 2-year-old and the baby. And every time I do it for my 2-year-old, I was like, "What was that?" She's like, she's blaming the dog and stuff. But I get a kick out of doing that. But I don't do it in front of her. I think it's just, like fart humor is not funny to me anymore. Like it used to be.
No.
It used to be a big. I used to be the target demographic for that. Not anymore. I don't like
Yeah,
it.
you sure were.
And if that defines closeness, I'd rather not be close.
Nope, not that close.
I'm fine where we're at. I'm good with that. We don't need to deepen the bond anymore. And that wraps up Preguntas. All right, now we are going to get into quick news. Quick news is a weekly segment that we do that gives us a chance to go over 4 different current events or news stories that vary in topic. We have 2 minutes for this segment, and I am asking you the first question. Joe Burrow went down with turf toe and is out for 3 months. Do you even know what turf toe is?
No, actually, I don't. I now I'm not one to wish one on athletes, you know, bad injuries, blah blah blah. Joe Burrow being in my division and being a very highly skilled quarterback, I'm going to take the fact that the Bengals are going to be performing at a lot less higher standard for, you know, the next couple of months. And I'll take maybe beating the shit out of the Bengals both times this season. I think your boy Brock Purdy also has turf toe.
He went down with the toe, man. More serious injury than people think. But poor Brock Purdy. Mac Jones, mac and cheese. Let's get it going, man.
All right, new
Oh,
Ed Sheeran. Ed Sheeran dropped a new album. Are you going to give it a listen, considering you are a white man?
considering I'm a white man, yes. If only I could be a British white man, I would listen to it even more. He's got that one album, Division, that we talked about earlier. I love that album. I'm not super familiar with a lot of his other music, but I love that specific album. I'll give it a listen. It's just got to be the right time and place for that type of music. I got to be in a specific mood, but I will definitely give it a listen. Also, seems like a really cool guy. So I'm a fan of Ed Sheeran, music and personality wise. Hack star Hannah Einbinder. That's a cool last name. Einbinder ended her Emmy speech with "Go Birds, fuck ICE, and free Palestine." Are you cool with celebrities using these moments to express their beliefs?
Expressing the belief to support the Eagles. How could I not support her in that endeavor?
You're so confusing with these Eagles talk. I'm like, are you an Eagles fan or what? You say you're a Steelers fan, but you compliment the Eagles so much in here. We get to have a handsome quarterback, but like,
Period. No, I definitely support it. The whole room responded with applause. I guess I like celebrities using that moment and their platform to promote good things, obviously. I also love her and that. All right, WNBA playoffs are in full swing. Who are you thinking is going to win it all?
I'm gonna go with the Minnesota Lynx. It's not very like bold of a pick. They were the number one seed, and they got really close to make it to the finals last year and lost. They've just been clicking on all cylinders all season from what I've seen. I've been off and on WNBA. I'm not gonna lie. It's just really hard for me not having a Houston team. I was like this year, I'm gonna be a Sparks fan. It's just hard to choose a team for me when I don't have like the affiliation to it. I lived in LA, but it's just not the same. They didn't even make the playoffs, but I got them. The Aces are hot right now. Asia Wilson is probably the coldest women's basketball player of all time, besides Maya Moore, who cut her career short, which is an interesting story in itself. We don't need to talk about that right now. But I will go Lynx over Aces in the
I
final.
definitely sympathize with you as far as like, kind of being new to the game or to the sport, but not really knowing how to pick a team because I really want to like college football, but I went to Texas State. And so they obviously suck. And it's like, I don't really have an affinity or, a loyalty. Like I was born into the Steelers fandom. That's why I'm a Steelers fan.
Same with the
I
Niners.
I just don't have like I'm not just gonna wake up and pick a fucking team and you know what I'm saying? So I definitely understand your plight there.
I uh I think the only thing I think I'd have to live there currently. Like we've talked about like if I lived in Portland, right? Portland's getting a new team next year. I'd be a Portland basketball fan, like WNBA fan, not a Blazers fan. Because I got my squad, the Rockets, you know what I'm saying? But yeah, it's tough. But Asia Wilson is so cold. Good Lord.
I've seen some of her stats come
Her
across.
shoes are dope too. All
Oh,
right.
saw some of those as well. They're
And
pretty
that
good.
wraps up quick news. Now we're going to get in our last part of our show, which is recommendations, where we get a minute to recommend something we want you to do, watch, listen to, whatever the case may be. We split a minute for this segment. And am I going first or you're going first? I don't even know.
I think fuck, I don't know.
I think you go first. Go ahead.
Okay, but this over the past weekend, I got a non-horror movie, so maybe you've seen this. I watched Dead Poet Society, oldie but goodie, Robin Williams. I watched it because it's usually mentioned in the same vein as Good Will Hunting, which is, that's fucking insane movie. And so I've been meaning to watch it. Just so happens to be on Hulu right now. This is the same director who did The Truman Show, which I love, highly revered movie. Definitely check it out. Oldie but goodie. Robin Williams, gone too fucking soon. Ethan Hawke is also in it, very young. Check it out.
I'm going with if you've got some time, you're in your car. It's been a dead season for a lot of podcasts I listen to, so I've been listening to more music, and I've just been really enjoying listening to. Every day on my way to work, I used to listen to rap music, and now I don't have the same type of job, and I don't need to get hyped up for it, so I don't listen to like rap as much as I used to, or music in general. I was listening to some old Jeezy the other day. I was actually listening to 102 because I feel like to me that's one of his albums is not as good up to par as a few other ones. Like in his 4 album run he had that was remarkable. It's probably my third favorite, but even that one is fantastic. So I would say listen to some old Jeezy. And 102 to me, very underrated. I was listening to
Magic?
102. Huh?
Oh, Thug Motivation 102.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it's got what's on there? It's got like Hypnotize. It's got I Love It, and I can't name the tracks off the top of my head, but
I
people
Love It was on that album.
People always talk about 101. He had us the intro to 103. It explains what happened. We were waiting on it for a million years. The recession is just from the time period and stuff. That's one of my favorites. So 102, I feel like goes under the radar for me, but 102 is fantastic as well.
I
So you,
mean, shit, we talked about doing a test of time with Thug Motivation 101 because that was such a fucking
it would
banger.
just be a waste of time because I know I love it. Like, and I don't go
Out
a
of
lot of times
10.
without listen to it. I don't need to review it. I know it's fantastic. And that wraps up quick news or recommendation, and that racks racks on racks. Get your racks up. I wish I was getting my racks up. I am not. I need to, but maybe one day. Episode 28 in the books. Season 2, episode 3. You know what I'm saying?
What athlete was the number 28 that you were talking about?
Alperen Şengün. So he is the Rockets starting center, and he was an all-star for his first time this year. He's fantastic. You should watch him. He's a lot of fun to watch. He's from Turkey, and they just had, like I said, the EuroBasket tournament, and they came in second place, and they made an incredible run. A lot of fun to watch, though. He's now our second best player because we have Kevin Durant. But what a guy. And he's only 22 or 23, so he's got a lot of way to go. And the Rockets GM, goddamn, what a guy. Got him on a fairly cheap contract for his production. It's only up from here. We're getting in a rocket and blasting off. You know what rockets do? What we do, stay fly. We're out of here.